Hello and welcome to live coverage of the Audi Sports R8 LMS Cup. We're here at the Shanghai International Circuit. Sean Henshelwood, as always, alongside me. This is where the Cup began, all the way back in 2012. And we've had some memorable races since then, haven't we?
Well, who will ever forget the 2016 title decider, that great battle between Alessio Piccarello and Alex Young, when all the way down to contact at turn 6, had to be decided in the stewards' room after the race. And that was just one of them. I mean, we go back to Rahul Fry the year before.
That's right, the first female driver to get a victory in the Cup. And she was almost in tears on the podium. It was so emotional, not just for her, but for her crew as well. And it was just a fantastic moment. But we're expecting more this weekend, a race in a moment's time today and then another one tomorrow as we get to the business end of the season.
Well, traditionally this has been the season closer, but this is round 7 and 8. We still have 9 and 10 to go. That's going to come up later in the year in Malaysia, but what a championship it has been so far, and we saw it again in qualifying. Just incredible scenes.
Now, we'll talk about the championship point standing in a moment later in the show, but let's talk about what's at stake here in Shanghai as we close the China swing of the Cup this year with a seat in that Spa 24-hour race up for grabs.
Well, that's one of the prizes this year. 4 seats up for grabs. We've already seen Burud Birambakti take one, Andrew Harriante, by virtue of winning in Australia, take the other. But there's a battle across the 2 rounds. Ningbo last time, this time at Shanghai, and it's a great battle between Sun Jingzhou and Yasser Shahin. Now, Jingzhou's already on the front foot so far, qualifying, incredible pace. We'll see that shortly. Yasser Shahin's never been here before. That's an interesting battle on its own.
If we talked about the two at the end of the season, we probably would have given Yasser the advantage between those two. But Jingzhou has been a revelation just in the last few weeks and months. He had a great race in Japan, driving with Audi there, and his first win last time out.
It was a fantastic result. You can see the cars coming down pit lane. It's going to get very loud, getting some extra miles on the board just to be ready for this race. Burud Birambakti behind us, also down onto the grid. It's going to get interesting. Before we get underway, let's go back and take a look at what the highlights were like from Ningbo. That was an impressive day. What an impressive addition to the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup Ningbo was. Some fantastic racing, some great overtaking and some good results. How about the performance of Sun Jingzhou? And that carries through. Well, here he is on the front row for round 7 of the championship. We'll see a little bit more about that later. Qualifying was amazing. We had 6 to 7 teams separated by half a second. That's over a 2-minute lap around the Chinese Formula 1 Grand Prix circuit. That's very, very impressive. We'll talk to some of the drivers, we'll go down the grid, we'll introduce you a little bit more, talk to Martin Kuhl shortly. Before we get underway though, let's go to the Shanghai International Circuit, a little bit of pre-event colour and see what the lead up to this weekend has been all about.
Well, we'll be joining Sean in a few moments' time back down on the track, and I can tell you that we had a bit of a scare over the last little while because we thought there was a typhoon heading smack in to Shanghai. There was a blue typhoon warning issued yesterday, but you can see the wind speed there, just 8 miles per second at the moment. So it is a little bit blustery, but not nearly as badly as we'd feared yesterday. It looks like that a big storm has moved north, fortunately. So the rain that had been predicted yesterday has stayed away, and that is good news for everyone here at the Shanghai International Circuit. And hopefully we will have good, clean racing, not just today, but tomorrow. And then Sunday there is a long 888-kilometer endurance race that many of these drivers will also be appearing in. So the Shanghai International Circuit. Let's take a closer look. As you can see, 16 turns and 5.5 kilometers in length. It is one of the longer circuits on the calendar, and that pretty long home straight between turns 11 and 12. We'll take a closer look at that. So fairly technical track for these drivers, but a favourite amongst them, of course, it is on the Formula One calendar as well, and that gives it just that extra cachet amongst the drivers. It is one of the top circuits in the world. Hermann Tilke designed, of course, as many of the world's best circuits are. And that long home straight, not the longest in Asia. That honour goes to Fuji, where the Cup has also raced. But it is a pretty long race. Now let's head back down to Sean Henshelwood. And he will be with Martin Kuhl. And we can get the latest from then, and then hear from Sean from all the other cars as we prepare for the final moments of this race. Let's cross to Sean now.
I'm with the Director of Audi Sport Customer Racing Asia, Martin Kuhl. And Martin, this is great. Another lovely day. The typhoon's gone through, thankfully. But how about the racing, and what about this guy behind you, Sun Jingzhou? The amateur drivers this year, incredible. And the pace, it matches the GT3 race that was here a couple of weeks ago. They are so quick.
They are. The progression and their development is unbelievable. But all of them, as we saw in qualifying, only really a couple of tenths of a second are separating the top 6 or 7 drivers. It's amazing. And we're very, very happy to see the speed they have, the ambition they have. So I think what we try to build, this learning environment with mentor drivers, quite works for them. And they seem to be very happy yesterday. They seem to be happy after qualifying. Now everybody focus on the race, and I'm really expecting a good one.
This has been such a great part of the whole Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup story, hasn't it? Shanghai, it's where it all began, so it's so great to be back here again in front of a good selection of fans.
Absolutely. 2012, the whole history of the Cup started here in Shanghai. We are now back in the 7th year, and it's always special. And this weekend even more special because we share the event together with the 888 Endurance Race, which is the first signature endurance event organized by Shanghai Circuit. It's a great idea to develop further the motorsport in China, and that's also our task, so we're happy to be here.
Thank you. I'll let you go. I know you like to wish the drivers luck before the start of the race. We'll get down the grid before they clear us off, but best of wishes. We'll see you afterwards. Here he is, Sun Jingzhu, who qualified on the front row again. He has been a revelation this year. The Suzuka 10 Hour earlier in the year really set the trend, and he is raised up to a whole new level this year. The first 6 drivers covered by half a second. Burit Birambakti, well, he sits on pole position. He's done it before, and he is getting ready. You can see him preparing in the car, and he has been fantastic this year. Already a 3-time winner. He'll be looking for his 4th win of the year. But interestingly too, Jingzhu is in this battle with a man a little bit further back, Yasser Shahin. You can see him on the 3rd row. He's on the 3rd row, but he's only half a second off the first time he'd ever been here at Shanghai International Circuit. Championship points leader, Andrew Harrianto. That battle is getting tight too. Jeffrey Lee, the veteran, 74 starts coming into this. And look at who's standing at his door, working with him. It's Alessio Piccarello. We'll see if we can't have a quick chat to him. Of course, he is the reigning Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup champion. And we will see him take part in SIC 888 on Sunday. Alessio, before you go, how was that qualifying session? It's fantastic. Jeffrey doing a brilliant job.
Jeffrey's doing a really good job this weekend, but like you saw, the level this year is really high between the amps, and it's really tight, so it's not easy, but I'm looking forward to see a really tight race.
And of course you jump in this car on Sunday for the 888 race, and you've been on the front row here a few times over the last month. What are you looking for?
P1, only P1, and I'm trying to help Jeffrey as much as I can this weekend because I'm sure he's one of the best here. So the goal is to be on top in the SIC 888.
Good luck. We'll see you on Sunday, and we'll see you a little bit later in the program. Of course, Jeffrey doing a brilliant job, and we look forward to seeing some more runs out of him. Here is Yasser Shahin. Now, there's a car missing here on that on the grid. That's interesting. We'll get to that one during the coverage. We wish Yasser the best of luck as he goes after some serious points and that 3rd seat in the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup customer racing entry in the 2019 Spa 24-hour race. Further down the order, there is the former Cup champion, Alex Au. He set pole position in the 2nd qualifying session. He starts this one from position 7, starts race number 8, round 8 of the championship tomorrow from the pole position. So good was his pace on returning to the Cup after a couple of years away. Jeffrey Z back in the Generation 1 Audi R8 LMS GT3. And you go back down to the GT4s, and we've got Anderson Tenodo, who's been having such a great run this year. A great new livery on his new car. We look forward to seeing him do a great job in this run. The field is starting to fill up. We're getting very close to needing to get off the grid, and we will be underway with what is round 7 of the 2018 Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup. I'll just go down and see if we can't take a quick look at Anderson Tenodo behind the wheel, the Indonesian driver. He will be one of a very interesting entry alongside Andrew Harrianto and Rio Harrianto for the SIC 888 event. That comes Sunday. Right now, we've got to get ready to go. Across to you, Mark.
Well, good stuff, Sean. You can see him pretty much the last person to clear the grid as the drivers just get into the zones. They get focused before the start of this race. It is, of course, a rolling start, so there'll be one formation lap, and then they will line back up in 2x2 formation with Burit leading the field, having control of the field, coming through the final turn. So as we get the final signal to go away, there will be one formation lap. And it's worth mentioning, as we talked about the performance, the high level of the amateur drivers this year, it's not luck that they're doing so well. It's because they're getting excellent coaching from the likes of Alessio Piccarello, from the likes of Martin Rump, who spend hours and hours before and after all the races going through the data. And of course the Cup has an open data policy, which means that you can see exactly how fast every other driver in the field has gone at any point on any lap in the circuit. So if someone is quicker than you in turn 7 and you've got the edge on them in turn 8, well, you get to a chance to see what your rivals are doing and where you're better and where you need to make up speed, what the car can do. And now, of course, you know, they're not limited by the cars, all driving the same cars. There are, of course, the GT3 and the GT4 and the Cup cars, but it is all Audi R8. So as we get into this formation lap, let's just run you through the field. And as Sean mentioned earlier, very closely contested qualifying session with Burit Birambakti taking pole position. He is ahead of Sun Jingzhu. Andrew Harrianto and Jeffrey Lee are on the 2nd row of the grid. Then Bao Jinlong, Chinese driver, who is new to the Cup, but he's been around the Asian circuit for a while. is alongside Yasser Shahin on the third row of the grid. Alex Au and Jeffrey Z go from the fourth row. Then it's Ryan Liu and Anderson Tanoto. Sam Locke, Jackie Wu and Wang Dengjia complete the field. And worth just taking a quick look at the championship standings, because it is very close at the top. And two battles really to focus on throughout this race. Andrew Haryanto leads the championship by just 6 points over Burrit Birenbakhti. Burrit, of course, starting from pole position with Haryanto down in third. So that could be pretty even Stevens by the end of this race if positions are similar. Then 32 points behind the lead in the championship standings, Yasser Shahin 8 points ahead of Sun Jing Zhu. As we talked on the grid a moment ago, those two are competing for the additional prize of that seat in the Spa 24-hour race. So that are really the two battles to focus on throughout this race. But of course we'll keep you up to date with all the grid as Sean just joins me here. Sean, I'll let you get your breath back, but we're just discussing Andrew and Burrit competing for the championship lead, and Yasser Shahin and Sun Jing Zhu as well, of course, in contention for the championship, but at the moment during this Shanghai weekend as we complete the races in Ningbo and Shanghai, going for that seat in the Spa 24-hour race. So just to quickly run you one more time through the rundown for the lineup here. Burrit Birenbakhti, Sun Jing Zhu, Andrew Haryanto, Jeffrey Lee, Bao Jinlong, Yasser Shahin, Alex Au, Jeffrey Z, Ryan Liu, Anderson Tanoto, Sam Locke, Jackie Wu and Wang Dengjia. So the cars just trying to keep the tyres as warm as possible. That's what the weaving's all about, and the Audi Sport safety car will peel off in a moment's time as we get to the end of this formation lap. The car's already close to 2x2 formation.
I don't know how you pick this one, Mark Dreyer. This is going to be very, very interesting. That qualifying session, both qualifying sessions, very spirited, and what an amazing result at the end.
Well, we are just moments away from race time here at the Shanghai International Circuit, and the level of competition in the series has just been getting higher and higher.
Well, it certainly has been getting higher and higher. To see someone like Sun Jing Zhu do what he's done, he's back on the front row. He has been a standout. We're underway, the lights have gone out, and that is the car on the left of screen. Burrit Birenbakhti in the middle, Andrew Haryanto. We saw him do just this at Adelaide, the first round of the championship, and he dives around the outside of Burrit Birenbakhti, cuts across to the apex. Jing Zhu back to third. Yasser Shahin, a great start from the third row. He's up to P4.
Well, phenomenal start there from Andrew Haryanto, and he needs to get a solid result here. He is the championship leader, but just by 6 points over Burrit Birenbakhti, and he'll be spitting mad after giving away that pole position, Sean.
Oh, he certainly will. And it's interesting too to see Yasser Shahin and Jing Zhu battling over position number 3. Those are the two drivers who are in contention for that third seat in the Spa 24-hour race. Alex Au up the inside at turn 6 tries to take the position away from Yasser Shahin. He's done a lot of GT racing since we last saw him in the Cup. Still a very, very quick driver, and he is right in the mix again. Of course, he set pole for the second qualifying session, really stopped everybody in their tracks and showed that he is right into it. And how about Jeffrey Lee in the J-Fly entry right behind them? He might be a veteran of 74 starts in the Cup, but he is right in this thing.
And Alex Au, you mentioned the Hong Kong driver. We've seen him over the years in the Cup. We haven't seen him so far this year, but he is very experienced in this competition and was right up there when we had the professionals racing, was getting in amongst the back end of them. So expect him to be very, very quick, even if he hasn't had quite as much race experience this year.
Yasser Shahin, we talk about him being a rookie at this circuit. His learning curve has been steep. The performance of these bronze FIA-rated drivers has been incredible. In fact, the pros have been stunned. You talk to Martin Rump, Alessio Picariello has a big gap back to the GT4s, and that looks like, somebody very, very wide on the exit of the turn. That might have been Jeffrey Z in the Generation 1 GTC entry. He's further back as Alex Au pulls to the inside. He's not going to do it there. How close are they? And Andrew Haryanto, too deep under brakes down at turn 14. So too Yasser Shahin runs right off the circuit, opens the door for Alex Au and might lose a position to Jeffrey Lee. Burrit Birenbakhti, he's won 3 already. He's quite happy to take a 4th. and this will close up the championship. It's becoming very, very interesting. But how close are these drivers at the front of this field?
Now, Sean, just talk about the competition here. Now, they are, as we know, gentlemen drivers. They are amateurs, but they're fierce competitors. When you're going side by side like that, how much are they thinking, you know what, we've got championship points at stake here. This is very early in the race weekend. The last thing we want to do is take each other out.
It's interesting, we just had a TCR Asia race, and I was talking to Alex Young, three-time Cup champion, about his young charge, Mitchell Chia. He's only 20 years of age, and he said the one big thing I've got to try and do is instill some maturity in him, just make him take a breath, don't always charge. He did that in that race, tore up his tyres, was unable to take a potential win and still be right in the championship points race. He's there, he's a long way further back. If he'd won, he'd have closed the gap. It would have gone down to this afternoon's final race with every chance of him having a win. As Jeffrey's got through Yasser Shahin, that's got very, very close further back, but it's slowed Shahin down. He's lost the tail of the pack, and he's got a little bit of work to do. Jeffrey's not giving up. He's a veteran, but he loves to fight, and we've seen that every season. In fact, memorable last year in the AM Cup, or the AM Plus Cup battle with Sun Jingzhou. They were real contenders, but Jingzhou's really taken another step forward so far this year.
That's right. Now, he has, of course, renewed confidence from that first ever win for him last time out at Ningbo, and he'll be sitting very prettily in position number 3 in that bright blue car that you can see there. And if anything happens between the front two, well, Jingzhou will be ready to pounce.
Andrew Harrianto did it this first round of the championship. He started from position 4 at Adelaide, on the Adelaide Street Circuit, the Adelaide Parkland Circuit. A very tough circuit to get around anybody at the best of times. It's a street circuit. As Burrit Birrenbachty crosses to the inside, it's a drag race down to turn 14. Can the young Thai driver take it from the Indonesian? And Andrew Harrianto in Adelaide surprised everybody to go from 4th to 1st by the first corner and then charge away for the opening win of the year. Contact as they go down to turn 1, and an outside braking move from Jingzhou, who's going to make it 3 wide. We've seen a lot of this in the past at Shanghai. It really makes the racing interesting, and this has got very, very interesting. This is for the championship. This is for the lead of the race, and Burrit Birrenbachty from pole positions back to the front of this field.
Now look at Alex Au there in 4th position. He's looking to go past Jingzhou into 3 as he was heavy on the brakes. He has now got there, but Jingzhou's coming back. How far can Alex Au? Can he take another one here?
He may well do. I mean, we saw that in qualifying. He is a seasoned campaigner. Maturity he has on his side. That doesn't mean he's an old guy, but he's done this racing for a long time. He knows to just bide his time. That's how you win championships. You need to be in the right place at the right time. You need to be fast. You need to be consistent. But as they say, to win, to finish first you have to finish. That is the vital point. Now, Burrit Birrenbachty, last time round 209.322, 209.9 for Andrew Harrianto, 208.7 for Alex Au. So the man who's quickest on track at the moment is the KCMG entry of Alex Au, and he's just ahead now of Sun Jingzhou, the winner last time round at Ningbo.
Well, Sun Jingzhou looks like he's become more aggressive since losing that 3rd spot. He'll be desperate to get back on the podium, particularly after tasting a top step in Ningbo. And it will be an interesting battle, really. But these 4 beginning to put a little bit of distance behind them. Then we have Jeffrey Lee, Yasser Shahin, and Xu Lingxiao with Jackie Wu in 8th, before we get down to Ryan Liu, Anderson Sonoto, Sanlok, and Wang Dengjiao. And it looks like Bao Jinlong has had to pull out early in this race.
I was talking to Martin Rupp, who will share that car with him in the 888 event, the invitational event on Sunday, an 888-kilometre journey around Shanghai International Circuit, the inaugural SIC 888. And they had a bit of an engine issue after qualifying, and they were hoping they'd resolve it by this race. That doesn't look like it's resolved, unfortunately. Car back in pit lane. We seem to have lost another there too, because we had 14, I'm sure. There was one missing on the grid. You got the qualifying order there. You might be able to tell me exactly who that might have been. I think position 5 or 6 was not on the grid. Oh, well, it was Bao Jinlong. That was the car that was missing. Oh, Jingzhou's gone down the grass. Keep it straight. No, he spun it. That'll drop him back to position 6. He hasn't lost too much ground, but all that great work. And you've got to be very careful going down to the braking point. Often you want to be on the extreme outside of the circuit, but if you go just across the ripple strip and the white line, you can end up on the grass, and once you're on the grass, no grip around you go, and that's exactly what happened to Jingzhou. Fortunately, he was able to keep it going roughly in the right direction and join the tail end of this pack, but now the top 4 have become the top 3. And that's made things a little bit more easy for Alex Au as he tries to work his way through and make a mark on this championship this year.
Now, Burrit Birrenbachty looking to get up to speed there, and he's opened up just about a second gap after very close racing in those first laps. Now here's a replay of Sun Jingzhou in the fourth car in this stream here. Look at him, heavy on the brakes and just goes wide, loses it at the back. He thought he might be able to get round, but not this time, and drops down into 6th position, but fortunately was able to rejoin without losing too much ground. And he is right back in that second pack of 3 cars there we just saw on screen.
Actually, it's funny, we're talking about each of the pro drivers. We spoke to Alessio Piccarello on the grid. We spoke to Martin Rump during the qualifying session, just how impressive that qualifying session was. You're talking about a 2:10 roughly lap time, and you're talking about drivers that over that period of a lap are only 0.6 separated, 6 or 7 drivers. It's very, very close. So it's one of those things where you start to get your mind thinking that these are professional drivers. They are amateur drivers. That's one of the great things, but they are so good that you expect them to be flawless. So when something like that happens, you think, oh, that's strange. But again, they don't have the miles under their belts of Alessio Piccarello or a Martin Rump or a Frankie Chung. They're doing a very good job this year. They're getting tighter. They're very, very consistent. Some of their lap time's incredible. These guys are close. Look at these packs. Nobody has got a great advantage. They're not pulling away. These are identical Generation 2 Audi R8 LMS GT3 cars as Alex Au dives up the inside down to the braking point at turn 14 to take position 2 away from Andrew Harrianto. So Harrianto back onto the second row where he started, and the mover and shaker in this field so far is Alex Au.
Well, this is very interesting at the top of the championship standings, because Harrianto has, as we said, just a 6-point gap. Now it's 25 points for first. At the moment, going to Burrit, a 7-point gap for 18 for second place. So if they were to be 1 and 2, it would be a 1-point swing in the championship. But that has now widened as Alex Au gets in between them, and Sun Jingzhou, having dropped back from 4th to 6th, looking to attack Jeffrey Lee there.
That was a bit of deja vu from season 2017, seeing Jeffrey and Jingzhou on the same piece of tarmac. The 666, Ryan Liu, who has been a great addition to GT competition in the Chinese region over the last couple of years. Not in the Cup. This is his debut in the Cup, and what a debut it has been. He is currently leading the GT4 field. Anderson Tanoto, the championship points leader, is in position number 2, and Sam Locke, another driver with a bit of mixed experience in... Oh, contact! Well, look at this. It really is deja vu. It's the Jeffrey and Jingzhou show from 2017 all over again. Not really sure what happened there. We might see that on a replay, but Jeffrey's regrouped down at turn 6, but that is one of the notorious overtaking positions. We see that quite often, and of course that was the finishing point of the 2016 championship between Alex Young and Alessio Piccarello. That wound up with the championship being decided in the steward's box, but we don't want to see those sorts of things happening. Looks like Jeffrey's managed to carry on, but Jingzhou certainly with plenty of pace. Now,
if there is a silver lining for Jeffrey, it is that he remains in 6th position. He had about nearly a 20-second gap ahead of Ryan Liu in 7th, so loses out to Jingzhou in this particular time, but let's see if he can catch him back up.
So Burrit Birambakti, a comfortable lead now, out to 2.5 seconds. Well, that's a spinner, come in spinner. That is car number 18, one further back in the field. He's making his debut 2 in GT4, and GT4, the ideal stepping stone to GT3. But you have to remember, as one of the leading one-make categories in the world, the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup uses a full-spec GT3 car. So the beautiful thing of this category is these cars will also appear in other championships, like the SIC 888 that will happen on Sunday afternoon. So they are able to compete in multiple championships, whether it's Blancpain GT Series Asia, GT Asia, China GT, all those championships, these cars are eligible and they compete regularly. So a lot of these drivers do miles in multiple championships. I have to say, I'm very impressed with Alex Au. His return to the Cup, always a very good competitor, and it's nice to see that instead of him battling further back in the order, he always used to say, I'm not so fussed about being the AM Cup champion, I'd rather be battling at the front of the field. Well, now the beauty of the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup is the amateur drivers, the bronze-rated drivers, gentleman drivers if you like, and sometimes lady drivers. We've had Naomi Jung this year. They can compete for outright, and they have really turned on the action this year.
Well, we're still in the first half of the race with 8 laps to go of the 13, and Alex Au has the fastest lap of the race, a 2:07.3. Burritt's best so far has been a 2:07.8, so if those two keep at a similar speed, we could see a battle for the lead if this gap, which is currently about 1.3 seconds, closes up.
Not sure what's going on with Andrew Harrianto there. Coming through turn 7, it looked a little squirrely, like that car might not be settled as well as he would have liked. Now, beautiful new livery for Anderson Tanoto. New car, new livery, and he's been doing a great job. Currently position number 2 in GT4.
Now, Sun Jingzhou, unfortunately, is in the pits at the moment, so the contact that he had with Jeffrey looks to have been more significant than we feared.
Possibly a drive-through penalty. We haven't seen that come up on the timing monitor, but that would explain it. If that P disappears off the timing monitor very, very shortly, then he will have exited pit lane, but now he's lost wholesale positions. This works for Yasser Shahin. This is part of the battle for that third seat, the coveted third seat in the 2019 Spa 24-hour race. The combined overall points winner, the top points winner for the rounds at Ningbo, so rounds 5 and 6 and 7 and 8 here at Shanghai International Circuit, that isn't either Burit Bhirombhakdi or Andrew Haryanto, who have already qualified to take seats in that car, will join those 2 drivers for that race next year. Likewise, the driver that isn't one of the 3 that are already entered in the car for next year, by the time we get to the final in Malaysia, the top point scoring, or the next top point scoring entry, will also join that group, and what an event that will be. Now, Ryan Liu has done a great job. He's at the front of the field, currently turning laps in the 218s consistently. 218.2 is his best, 218.5 last time round. Meanwhile, Anderson Tenoto, 218.7 is his best. He turned that last time round, but he's dropped to about 6 seconds back now. He's the blue and yellow car further back. Now, behind him, that's interesting, Jingzhou says he's still in pit lane. Now, don't trust this timing monitor, Marcus, because it's been letting me down all day. There's every chance that by the time it refreshes again next lap round, that P will have disappeared and we'll see that Jingzhou will still be on track. I could see a GT3 car starting to work its way through the GT4s at the back whilst we were watching Ryan Liu and Anderson Tenoto.
Well, back at the front of the field, Burit Bhirombhakdi has slightly increased his lead over Alex out to 1.5 seconds. And we were thinking that Alex was catching. He has the quickest lap time, but Burit so far been a little bit more consistent. But this is certainly still in touch. One of the main battles to watch here.
So Jeffrey Z, he's doing a great job too. He is back in position number 6 now. That's not good news. There's Ingo Mader, the team boss of Absolute Racing, alongside Fabian Fior. And he's just walked away from the car. The crew into this, they're working fairly feverishly to try and find out what the issue is. They'll plug the computer in and work out exactly what's going on. Frankie Chung walking around back of screen. He's one of the driver mentors this year with 2013 Cup champion Adley Fong. They're both down in pit lane working with the drivers. You heard Alessio talking on the grid that he's been working with Jeffrey Lee, and that's working out quite well. He's in position number 5. But for Burit Bhirombhakdi, he's well on track to take his 4th win of the year. Now, current pace, 207.7 last time round for Burit. He's up the pace. That's his best lap. 207.38 for Alex Au. It's going to refresh this time round. We'll see what the times are. 207.95 for Alex Au last time round. Now it was roughly the same. 208.39 for Burit. 208.24 for Alex Au. The lead 1.4 seconds. So Burit can't afford to breathe too much. He knows he's not in a championship battle with Alex Au. So if push comes to shove, I would almost guarantee, despite the fact we always say these guys are racers, and once the red mist comes down, then all common sense seems to go out the window. But he's in a championship battle. As you say quite rightly, he's leading this championship right now. If the positions change, and it's positions 2 and 3 in this race, that's 18 and 15 points. So advantage goes back to Andrew Haryanto. So Burit, I'm sure, and the team will be well aware of that. Overtaking move. That's one of the new entries in GT4. Might be Wang in the 18 entry. He's just been taken there by race leader Burit Bhirombhakdi. That gap looks to have extended a little bit too.
So as we get into the second half of the race, Sean, Burit looking very good at the moment out in front, and he will be the new championship leader if things stay as they are. And Andrew Haryanto, disappointing start. He's lapping around the same speed at the moment. 283, same as Burit, but he's about 5 or so seconds back off the lead.
Some of these drivers have past experience, of course. We're talking about the ability to use the Audi Sport Customer Racing operation to run these cars at other events outside of the Cup. They are full spec, certainly the front leading cars, full spec GT3 cars. So they do turn up in other championships, which means that a number of these drivers have turned serious laps here at Shanghai International Circuit. That's Anderson Tenoto. It's a new livery, new car for the Indonesian driver. He will be, I like the smiley face emoji on the roof, I've only just noticed that. But he will be in the SIC 888 event in an all-Indonesian team. One of his teammates, well, you could call them brothers, but they're actually not. Rio Haryanto, former Manor Racing F1 driver, will make his GT competition debut in that car on Sunday alongside Andrew Haryanto and fellow Indonesian Anderson Tanoto. So that'll be interesting. But at the moment, Anderson Tanoto is circulating in GT4 in position number 2. Just checking that as I say that, and that's Sam Locke, who's making his debut too in the GT4 Audi, the hard memory entry. We saw Hungeng in that last time round. Sam Locke's taken over the wheel, and he's in position 3, but no denying the race leader, the number 59 Singer Plan B by Absolute Audi R8 LMS GT3 on its way to a 4th win for this season.
Well, fortunately, the rain that we had feared might come has stayed away so far. Don't want to jinx it, Sean, but still looking pretty blustery. Trees that we can see, and you can just see in the background of that shot. It's windy on track, but not too bad, so shouldn't affect the drivers too much.
Well, angry skies, as we say at the start of the race. There was a Category 5 typhoon set for Shanghai late yesterday. There was some talk it'd be around this morning. There was some light rain coming into the track this morning, and certainly, as you say, it's still very blustery, but fortunately the rain has stayed away. It hasn't affected things too much. Track temperatures, in fact, down by as much as 10 degrees, talking to the engineers, to the Pirelli engineers. So that's interesting too, and that has helped the car's performance to the point where we're seeing laps in the 205s, which, as Martin Rump said, he said, I did a 205.4 during my qualifying session here a couple of weeks ago. It's like, these guys are seriously on it. They're only 3 to 4 tenths off my pace. And Martin Rump, of course, one of the winningest drivers over the most recent seasons of the Cup, a real superstar in this part of the world these days in an Audi R8 LMS GT3.
Sean, just talk a little bit more about how the temperature affects the performance of the car. I mean, sometimes in Shanghai, in the heat of summer, the track temperature soars up. We go to Sepang as well. That can be excruciatingly hot sometimes, so humid as well. But track temperature this morning at least was around 22, 23 degrees centigrade, pretty much the same as the air temperature.
Well, air temperature and obviously humidity do have an impact on the intake into the car. You know, when you breathe it yourself, sometimes if the conditions are very humid, it makes breathing a little bit more difficult. The car's really not all that different. These are naturally aspirated 5.2 litre V10s. So they're not turbo induction, they're not supercharged induction, naturally aspirated. So a high performance engine, around 600, 650 horsepower, but that does have an impact. And when you talk an impact, it might only be tenths, 2 tenths, 3 tenths a lap. But if you can tune your car better to adjust that, whether it's fuel mix or something else, to make the car perform better, then you will use that advantage. It also affects the way the car flows through the air. So the very astute teams and engineers will adjust wing angles and some of those sorts of things too. But then, of course, you've got track temperature affects the tyre performance. And you can also adjust that by the pressures that you adjust the tyres to during the start or the finish of the race. You see often in GT3 races, 60-minute races, that the teams will come in and whether it's engineers from Pirelli or the team members will adjust the tyre pressure. That is to extend the tyre life and it's extend the grip too. So you can adjust the tyres to come up to grip and up to speed quicker, but then that can also affect their overall wear rate. So you're playing a strategy game all the time. So there are variables in this, but certainly temperature is one of them.
And we're talking, of course, about incremental games, nothing huge, but when you have the top 6 on the grid qualifying within half a second, this makes a massive difference.
It makes a massive difference, and it could be just down to a wing angle. It could be down to the way you adjust the tyre pressures, where they come on, whether it's early in the session, late in the session. It could be down to, you look at this long straight, one of the longest straights in Asian motorsport, a slipstream. Could be as simple as that, getting in behind another car, using that for an extra 2, 3, 4, 5 kilometres per hour down to the braking point. That could be enough to move you forward 2, 3, 4 places on the grid. All those things get taken into consideration. Now, it looks like Burit Birambakti has Alex Au comfortably covered. 2:08.2 last time round for Birambakti, 2:08.3 for Alex Au. Comfortably clear of Andrew Haryanto on screen. The Indonesian doesn't look to be as comfortable as he was. 2:10.3 last time round, 2:08.2 his best time. So he's 2 seconds down on his rivals. He might have decided, well, nothing to gain now. I'm kind of in position 2 in this championship battle. I'll sit back here. I can't really do much about it. Let's just conserve and come back fighting again for tomorrow, round 8 of the championship, and take the fight back to Birambakti then.
Well, the biggest disappointment so far, I think, has to come from Sun Jingzhou, riding high as he coming in after that win in round 5. Qualified on the front row of the grid and had some pretty interesting attacking moves throughout the opening laps, but now sits back in pit lane with his race over and didn't look to be too serious. I'm sure he'll be able to be back on track tomorrow, but of course he's lost those valuable championship points. He had the advantage over Yasser Shahin in that race for the 3rd seat in the Spa 24-hour race, but now very, very much advantage back to Yasser.
Absolutely advantage back to Yasser, and the Australian driver who owns the 2nd longest permanent race facility in the world, Ben Motorsport Park in South Australia. It's about 300 kilometres away from the Adelaide Parkland circuit where the season for the Cup kicked off this year. But he has taken this championship very, very seriously, has loved it. He said, look, for all the GT racing I've done in different parts of Australia and the Asian region, this has really been a standout for me. I'm loving it. I'm really keen to be involved next year. But if I could get myself into Spa, well, what a prize that would be. And of course, there is the prize for the champion this year. We saw it unveiled at Nürburgring. Sadly, you didn't, but you've seen the pictures. An all-gold Audi R8 LMS road car, and that is a pretty serious prize for a championship like this for a gentleman driver, as well as the opportunity to go and race at Spa, one of the iconic GT races in the world next year.
And it's worth remembering that while these drivers may have other jobs during the rest of the time, when they are on track, when they are here at the circuits, they are absolutely getting the full professional experience. I saw Yasser just a moment before qualifying. He was getting his fingers massaged by the masseuse in the back just to limber everything up so he's as reflective as possible as the car is moving around these turns at top speed. But absolutely what the professionals at any level of motorsport would be getting.
Well, they're successful business people, so they like to transition that success onto track. So whilst they might go, oh, I'm not a professional driver, you don't think that they're not looking for every advantage over those other professional businessmen, so they can all sit around and have a drink afterwards and say, hey, I beat you, buddy. I am better than you at this. And that is what drives them. You talk to any of these guys, and we've done it in the television programs we produce for the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup. You talk to the drivers and say one of the beauties of this is the camaraderie. We do it because we enjoy it, we do it because we're competitive, and we do it because we like to be together and share common goals. We're very serious about our business. We spend so much time on that. We spend a lot of time with family, but this is a release. It's a release at the very top end, and we really enjoy competing. Jeffrey Lee, well, this is start, I think, number 75 over 7 seasons of the Cup. How many times have we seen this man go around? And it's great to see he still enjoys it. Well, he was fighting at the front of the field over the early laps. He's a little bit further back now, currently in position number 5.
So Burrit Bakhti leads by a 1.5 seconds. That's pretty much the gap it has remained over the last 4 or 5 laps, or perhaps even more, from Alex Au in 2nd position. Andrew Haryanto, the Indonesian driver, is in 3rd at the moment, and he is about 8.5 seconds ahead of Yasser Shahin before we get back to Jeffrey Lee. Then it is Jeffrey Z in 6th, Jackie Wu, Ryan Liu, Anderson Tanoto, Sam Locke, and Wang Dengjia, who rounds out the field at the moment in position number 11.
Well, that was Ryan Liu just going through bottom of the screen. Here is 2nd in GT4, and there is 3rd in GT4. The 36th entry is Sam Locke. Looks like he's starting to close in, and he's about to be lapped by the race leader. I hope he's been watching his mirrors, because a fair performance difference. You can see also the stance of the car. There's a big difference. Engine-wise, not so much, but the aerodynamic difference between a GT4 and a GT3, you can see it quite visibly there. And that allows the car, the GT3 car, to carry more speed through the corners. That's where it can make up an advantage. In straight line, funnily enough, the GT4 with less aero is actually faster. So at the end of the main straight, terminal speed could probably go to the advantage of GT4. It needs to stop earlier. It's a little bit heavier. Doesn't have the aero, doesn't have the braking capacity of a GT3 car. That's where the GT3 makes it up over the course of a lap.
Well, good
on
battle.
to last lap. Sorry, Mark, it's getting interesting, but it looks like Burrit Bakhti might have win number 4 in the bag.
Well, yes, it's up to nearly 2 seconds he had. It was a good battle, just the 2 being lapped there, Anderson Tanoto and Ryan Locke, still fighting within their category, the GT4, and we'll see their podium presentation later as well. But as you said, the final lap here, and Burrit Bakhti will be the new championship leader with 24 points in the bag, because Andrew Haryanto, who coming into this race was 6 points ahead, will only be getting 15. So Burrit will be leading by 4 points unless something dramatic happens in these final few seconds.
Because we had to do it all over again tomorrow. That's Saturday. We're usually racing on a Saturday and Sunday, but this time round we're on a Friday and Saturday because we have the big event, the SIC 888 Endurance event, starting from 10:30 local time here at Shanghai International Circuit on Sunday. You can listen to Mark and I babble on for a good 7 hours if you're a little bored. Please join us. We'd love to hear from you. But the second race of Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup here, round number 8 of the championship, will take place at 1:15 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, local time. We'll keep you up to date with all the action. Keep up to date too with the website and all the social media platforms in both Chinese and English as they reveal all the action from the weekend. It certainly has been very popular and well received, the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup over recent seasons. We love being a part of it, and this is just another new addition. As Alex Howes closing right in under brakes at the end, he's giving it one last push. Burra Bharti just 2 corners or a kink and a corner from home. This is the final lap, and Thailand's Burra Bharti, he is about to cross the line. Alex Howes trying hard, but he's not going to do it. And win number 4 for Burra Bharti. Brilliant drive from former AM Cup champion Alex Howes. And there is, well, he was the points leader coming in. Not so sure he's going to be the points leader now. These are provisional results. Andrew Harrianto across the line for position 3.
And Sean, if you'd looked at the results, you'd see Burra Bharti qualify in pole position and Burra Bharti win the race. But there was that small blip at the start, if we just review his race, losing out at the front, but then back in front, and it looked pretty comfortable, didn't it?
Well, I guess the thing you're doing is you're trying to counter the driver that's starting alongside you. That's where it becomes difficult. So you probably lose a little bit of track of the driver behind you. You've got to remember these modern-day GT3 cars, the seat position is very low, very much lower than a road car. So you're kind of looking just across the windowsill. You can see Burra Bharti, how low he's sitting. You're sitting further back in the car, a little bit more towards the centre. So you've got all these pillars and roll cages around you. You've also got a Hans device, a head and neck safety device, which stops movement. It tends to restrict your vision left and right. You've got your visor, you've got your helmet, you've got all these things going on, and everything is happening at over 200 kilometres per hour. Take all of that into consideration. You can't cover everything. You can't use your peripheral vision like you would normally use just sitting in a normal road car. You've got to take all these factors in, the noise, the smell, the heat, everything, and you have to try and cover. So it's probably no real surprise that Harrianto took advantage of that, just as he did at Adelaide for the opening round of the championship, and was able to leap through to the front of the field. But he clearly has some kind of issue because he couldn't keep that pace and carry it through. But interestingly, it looks like by virtue of winning his 4th round of the year, Burra Bharti will be up to the championship points lead, and we still have 3 races left this season. It's funny, we're all the way through in October now. We started way back in, March, and we're only at the 4th race weekend of the year.
Well, in the GT4 category, Ryan Liot will take the victory today, but Anderson Tenoto is way out in front in terms of the overall standings because Ryan Liot joining the season late.
He may well, in fact, Anderson Tenoto, be wrapping up the championship by virtue of this result. We'll still see. I mean, again, keep up to date with the social media platforms and we'll update you on all that information, but he is right in this title fight, and he could wrap things up. Certainly, if he doesn't today, there's every chance he'll do the same thing tomorrow.
And on Sunday, as Sean mentioned, we have the big endurance race. Now, the drivers from the Cup who enter in that, even if they don't finish, I believe, get 10 points in addition to the championship races that they've been competing for on the Friday and the Saturday. So that's a bonus, if you will, and a lot of them have chosen to take that.
Well, one that hasn't is Yasser Shahin at the moment. He's not entered in SIC 888. Now, if he loses 10 championship points in this battle with Sun Jingzhou, by not entering, I think you might see a surprise Australian entry on Sunday.
And we'll have to check the rule book in terms of whether those 10 extra points count just for the championship or also for the China seat in the Spa 24-hour. We're tripping ourselves up here as we see
the traditional hug
being congratulated by Martin Kuhl and Ingo Mata.
Yeah, Ingo will be happy about that. Well, that's good too. See, that's the camaraderie. Because if we go back to Ningbo, remember down at turn 1, the first race at Ningbo, and Andrew Harrianto drove down the inside, clipped the curb, threw him sideways into Burra Bharti, wiped Burra Bharti off the circuit. He had a terrible opening race. He came back and won the second race. But Andrew was, well, you saw how devastated he was after he got out of the car at the end of the race. He'd finished on the podium again. He said, I'm just so sorry. And he spent a lot of time apologising to
on
Burrit.
camera and off,
Burrit's like, that's racing, buddy. Don't worry about it. We'll come back tomorrow. It's a different day. It's all fine.
Yeah.
But I think secretly Burrit was probably feeling pretty bad about it too. But that's the camaraderie they have. They race hard on track. They're good buddies off track. And that is one of the hallmarks of this championship this year. It really has been fantastic. I know we say that, we need to say that, but it has been a great championship. It's been a joy to be involved with these people and these drivers, and certainly it has been a great addition to motorsport in Asia over the last 7 seasons.
Well, Sophie, just getting ready to speak to Burrit Bharti in a moment's time, but certainly a little bit of that holdover from last year that you were talking, last race, talking about the clash between the two. So let's go to Sophie, and she will be standing by with the race victory and the new championship leader, Burrit Bharti, who is with Sophie. Let's hear what he has to say.
Very congratulations, and it's a very exciting race for us to watch. But for you, from pole to win, it seems lots of overtaking moves happen on the track. Would you say a lot of more about your race today?
The beginning, the start is not that great because Javianto get in front of me, but I try to manage to get in front of him back and then stay, keep the distance. Yeah.
How you summarize your first race here in Shanghai?
Oh, it's very difficult. The track, cannot push that much. If you push, you ruin the whole lap. So you have to be very gentle with the car, like I say, and try to manage and don't really look back. Just look, straight.
One more time, congratulations. Enjoy the victory and back up to your guys.
Well, there it is. It's as Mark rightly points out, that's round 4 round wins this year from 7, but also the championship points lead. So very, very good job by Burrit Bharti and of course the Absolute Racing team. And Kanisak Kasiri, who will drive alongside Burrit, and Burrit's older brother Piti Bharti in SIC 888 on Sunday. So we'll hear a lot more from them. They've done a really good job. So I think Sophie's trying to get herself organised down there with perhaps Ryan Liu, who won on debut here in GT4, in the Audi RS LMS GT4, which made its debut in the Cup and worldwide this year. And it's interesting to see. It kicked off the season in the Dubai 24-hour race, and we saw former champion Marchi Lee and Sean Dong as part of that team. So it looks like Sophie is down there. I can't quite see her on screen, but it looks like she's got it all sorted. Let's cross down to Sophie, get an update as we go towards round 8.
Well, the wind is pretty strong today. Ryan, congratulations for taking GT4 categories victory. Talk about your debut here in Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup for all of us.
第一次来尝试这个车，然后觉得从设计到车子性能都是很棒的。然后GT4 的话，我尽量的还是专注于自己的驾驶，然后跟自己的参考圈去比较，
and the reference lap
专注于比赛。
focusing on the racing itself.
Congratulations one more time. 恭喜刘德军. So Ryan just shared with us from the performance to the techniques. It's really great for the car, but he focused on the driving itself. So congratulations one more time, and back to you guys.
As you can see from Ryan's race suit, does a little bit of work in the open wheeler categories. He's been racing in other GT championships so far this season. It's been very, very competitive. It's been a great addition to the Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup for season 2018. So it looks like we're going to go back to the highlights of round 7 very, very shortly as we prepare for the podium. And of course, then we get ready for tomorrow's second race, round 8 of the championship. But what a race it was. You can see the wind, the flags are moving around a lot, still very angry skies, and we will
You do like that phrase, don't you?
I do like that phrase.
We can confirm the typhoon fears are over. You can sleep easy
I can come
tonight.
out of my bunker. That's good. Excellent. I was a little worried about that. The door's blowing around. There's a little bit of rain by the look of it. So let's go back and take a look at how round 7 of the championship played out. Keep an eye on the second row. Andrew Harrianto, the black and gold car. Left of screen on the front row is Burrit Bharti. Right of screen, Sun Jingzhou. And how about the man in the middle? That is Andrew Harrianto, championship points leader. Coming in behind them, Yasser Shahin. He was in a great battle. He's up for that 3rd seat in the Spa 24-hour race next year. There is Alex Howe, returning AM Cup champion. We've seen a lot of him in the past in the Cup. And he was right in this mix in the KCMG machine. And then this great battle down to turn 14. Barbecue for Sun Jingzhou. Barbecuing Pirellis. That opened the door for Alex Howe. Alex Howe crept through. And ultimately we saw Jingzhou having a drama further back and had to retire from the race. We hope to see the Chinese driver back. At the front of the field, Burrit Birenbakti got back to the lead and started to extend that. Then the focus turned to the battle for second. This was Jingzhou running deep down at turn 14, had a spin on the grass, got things going again, caught on to this battle between Yasser and Jeffrey Lee. And ultimately we saw the old sparring partners. We saw them do it many times during season 2017. Sun Jingzhou and Jeffrey Lee make contact. And unfortunately that ended the run for Jingzhou. The front of the field though, Burrit pulled away. Win number 4 for the season. To go with those 2 fantastic victories earlier in the year at the Nürburgring and of course last time out at Ningbo. Seemed to suffer a little bit in the closing stages, Andrew Haryanto. Dropped back, his pace was a couple of seconds off the front of the field. Held on to 3rd position. We saw him bowing to the man who took his 4th win of the year and moved into the championship points lead provisionally again. That all needs to be ratified at the end of this race by the stewards, but what a great drive, even under pressure, from Burrit Birenbakti.
And Sean, just an interesting thing to note about the championship standings. Alex Howe, even though he's joining just late in the season, he's not classified as a guest driver, which means that he does get those 18 points for second instead of not counting, and those 18 points would have gone to Andrew Haryanto, which would have been just a 1-point swing. Very dramatic here. We've had a number of very close finishes
a couple of times
towards the end of the Cup season, but we do have 3 more rounds plus that bonus 10 points for Sunday's race, so still plenty to play for between those top 2 and of course some of the others.
And of course we've still got 3 rounds left in this championship. Round 8 of the championship tomorrow, and then we go all the way through to mid-November to the final round of the season at Sepang International Circuit in Malaysia. And what an event that will be. There you go. That was the highlights of round 7. We will go through very shortly to the podium presentation. We may well leave you there as we get set for more racing here at Shanghai International Circuit and of course SIC 888 on Sunday morning.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Welcome to our awarding ceremony for round 7 of 2018 Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup. 尊敬的各位来宾，大家下午好，欢迎各位来到2018奥迪运动 R8 MS 杯第7回合比赛的正式颁奖典礼。Now I'm very honored to announce that third place in GT3 category is Mr. Andrew Haryanto from Team Pro Max Team. Congratulations! 首先欢迎获得 GT3 组别的第3名，来自 Pro Max Team 的 Andrew Haryanto， 掌声恭喜！ And now the second prize goes to Mr. Alex Au from Team KCMG. 恭喜获得第2名的车手是来自 KCMG 车队的欧百祥，恭喜！ And the winner in GT3 category is Mr. Burrit Birenbakti from Team Singhar Plan B by Absolute Racing. Congratulations! 恭喜获得 GT3 组别第1名的车手是来自 Singhar Plan B by Absolute Racing 车队的 Burrit Birenbakti， 掌声恭喜 ！Congratulations to all the drivers. Now may I invite Mr. Wang Zhenyong, Secretary General of Shanghai Automobile and Motorsports Association, to the stage and present the prize to the winner of GT3 Cup. 有请上海市汽车摩托车运动协会秘书长王真勇先生为 GT3 组别的冠军车手颁奖，掌声恭喜！ As an added bonus, we have an honor cell phone as a prize for the winner of GT3 Cup. 作为奖励 GT3 组别的冠军车手，我们还送给他荣耀手机1台，恭喜！ Now let's warmly welcome Mr. Pan Yongyong, Deputy General Manager of Shanghai International Circuit, to present the prize to second place. 接下来，掌声有请上海国际赛车场经营中心副总经理潘永永先生为获得亚军的车手颁奖，有请。恭喜恭喜获得亚军的车手，也谢谢潘永永先生。Now let's welcome Mr. Xia Yu, Vice General Manager of Honor Shanghai, to present the prize to third place. 有请上海荣耀副总经理夏宇先生为获得第3名的车手颁奖。恭喜！掌声恭喜我们的车手，也感谢夏宇先生。Next, may I announce that the winner of the Pirelli Best Lap is Mr. Alex O from Team KCMG. 恭喜获得倍耐力最快圈速奖的车手，也是来自 KCMG 车队的欧百祥。May I invite Mr. Alessio Picariello, reigning Audi Sport R8 MS Cup champion, to present Pirelli Best Lap trophy to the winner. 有请奥迪运动 R8 MS 杯总冠军 Alessio Picariello 为最快圈速奖的获奖车手颁奖。Thank you, Alessio. 有请各位获奖车手一同合影。So first, may I invite all the drivers to take a group photo together. 现在我们请所有获奖车手一同合影。好，让我们镜头见证我们车手们风采。接下来有请各位颁奖嘉宾来到颁奖台，与车手一同大合影。Now may I invite our award presenters to the podium and join in the group photo. 有请。好，让我们一起用镜头见证这样一个时刻。我们也再次把掌声送给所有的获奖车手，谢谢他们的精彩表现。Congratulations to all the winning drivers. Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the champagne. 接下来，让我们开启香槟，一同庆祝。也把掌声再次送给他们。Thank you, our drivers. Thank you for a wonderful performance. Congratulations again. 再次恭喜所有的获奖车手，谢谢他们的优异表现。And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stay tuned. Our awarding ceremony continues. 接下来我们的颁奖仪式将会继续，请大家不要走开。Now, it is my honor to announce that the third prize in GT4 category goes to Mr. Sam Luck from Team 852 Challengers. 首先欢迎获得 GT4 组别的第3名是来自852 Challenger 车队的骆志杰先生，恭喜 ！Congratulations, please. Next. The second place in GT4 category is Anderson Tanodo from Team Absolute Racing. Congratulations! 恭喜获得 GT4 组别第2名的车手是来自 Absolute Racing 车队的 Anderson Tanodo. And now, the winner in GT4 category is Ryan Liu from Absolute Racing. Congratulations! 恭喜获得 GT4 组别的冠军车手是来自 Absolute Racing 车队的刘泽轩。再次恭喜所有的获奖车手。Congratulations to all the drivers. Coming up next, may I invite Mr. Martin Koo, Director of Audi Sport Customer Racing Asia, to present the prize to the winner in GT4 category. 有请奥迪运动亚洲 客户赛车部总监马丁先生为获得冠军的车手颁奖。作为冠军车手的福利，我们也为 GT4 组别的冠军车手送上荣耀手机1台。Also, we have an honor cell phone as a prize for the winner in GT4 category. Next, may I invite Mr. Rio Harriento, former Formula One driver, to present the prize to second place. 有请前一级方程式车手 Rio Harriento 先生为 GT4 组别获得第2名的车手颁奖。恭喜 ！Thank you, Mr. Harriento. Next, let's welcome Ms. David Gobi, General Manager of Top Speed Shanghai Limited, to present the prize to third place. Please, 有请上海情速赛事策划有限公司总经理邓大为先生为 GT4 组别第3名的车手颁奖，恭喜！ Thank you, Mr. Gobi. Now may I invite all the GT4 winners to take a photo together. 有请我们的获奖车手一同先合影。好，再次掌声，恭喜3位车手，也请3位留步在颁奖台上，我们的颁奖仪式将继续。Please stay tuned. Now, the winner in GTC category is Mr. Jeffrey Z from Team Spirit Z Racing. Congratulations! 恭喜获得 GTC 组别冠军的车手是来自 Spirit Z Racing 车队的徐领孝，掌声恭喜！ May I invite Mr. Adley Fong, driver mentor of Audi Sport R8 MS Cup, to present the prize to winner in GTC category. 有请奥迪运动 R8 MS 杯车手导师方俊宇先生为 GTC 组别获得第1名的车手颁奖。Also, we have an honor cell phone for the winner. 我们也为 GTC 组别的冠军车手提供了华为荣耀手机1台。 Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a photo of all the winners. 有请所有的获胜车手再次一同合影。Please take a group photo together. 朋友们，我们也再次用镜头、用掌声见证这样一个时刻，把掌声送给所有优秀的车。再次恭喜他们。 Now may I invite our award presenters to join the podium, to join the group photo. 好，我们的车手们已经非常的激动，已经打开香槟庆祝了。我们也请所有的颁奖嘉宾上台一同合影。May I invite our award presenters to join the group photo? And also, may I invite Mr. Jackie Wu, the second place in GTC category, to join us, please. Congratulations to Mr. Wu. 同样，我们也请出了 GTC 组别第2名的车手，也来到颁奖台上一同庆祝。Congratulations to all the drivers and thank all our award presenters. 我们也再次用掌声感谢所有的颁奖嘉宾，恭喜所有的获胜车手。Now here comes the champagne.
So thank you all for staying with us for Audi Sport R8 LMS Cup. And also after this race, I think you have felt that in the Shanghai International Circuit we can bring you a lot of excitement. So tomorrow at the same time we will have the second race for this weekend. Please stay tuned. See you tomorrow. Bye.